Rousey, and I am talking Dallas Cowboy football. And hey, I have a question for all you football fans out there, Dallas Cowboy fans in particular, and that question is, are you ready for some football? And my answer to that question is a resounding hell yeah! I am ready for some football, especially after how the Dallas Cowboys season ended last year with the destruction in Philadelphia. But hey, it's a new year, it's a new day, it's a new team, and we look forward to this season. And I'm just hoping that at least we make the playoffs and get a win in the playoffs. That's my goal for the season. And some of you might say I'm undershooting, but hey, at least let's get that. I mean, of course, we all want a Super Bowl and we want a Super Bowl victory. But after the past several years, we haven't won a playoff game since Aikman was quarterback. And that has been simply too long. So, hopefully we get that this year. Now, what I want to talk about first, before I talk about the first game against the Buccaneers, is how I want to run the shows this year. First of all, I'm going to try to do a pregame show like I'm doing right now. And then after the game, I want to do a show talking about the game in general, win or lose. I want to be on the YouTube, either eating crow or celebrating how the Cowboys played. But I want to talk about the plays of the game, the players of the game, and also I want to talk about that one play. I love plays. I love football for that reason, and I love players that make plays. And if y'all remember, those who watched football for several years and followed Monday Night Football when Dandy Don Meredith was a commentator on Monday Night Football, he had this thing that he always did towards the end of the game when a play was made that pretty much ended the game for all intents and purposes. He would start singing this song, "Turn out the lights, the party's over." Well, I want to talk about that play that ends the game. And hopefully I'll be talking about plays that Dallas Cowboy players make. But the play that, "Turn out the lights, this party is over." I want to talk about that play. Those key plays that players make. And hopefully, like I say, the Cowboys will be making those plays this year. Now, talking about the game this week, I think it's going to be a tough game. You never really know. I guess the first game of the season, you haven't seen teams play other than in preseason, and that's kind of difficult to gauge how good teams are. But Tampa Bay, decent team last year. Cowboys beat them last year with Brad Johnson at quarterback. So it's going to be an interesting game. Both of these teams on offense are kind of similar. Both of them have three good running backs. The Cowboys, of course, Marion Barber, Felix Jones, and Tashard Choice. Tampa Bay also has Cadillac Williams, Warwick Dunn, and Ernest Graham, I believe is his name. All three good backs. So, and we have two pretty good tight ends in Jason Witten and Martellus Bennett. They have Jeremy Stevens, and they also, of course, got Kellen Winslow from the Browns. So, similar offenses in the sense of the people that they have there. So, we will see how this plays out. But in watching the conference call or watching a video on Tampa Bay's website, the coordinator, Jim Bates, the thing that he was most concerned about was, would his team, which is pretty much predicated on speed, would they be able to stop Dallas's run game with their big offensive line and with runners like Barber and Felix Jones? Will they be able to do that? I think that's going to be a key to the game. The other thing that Bates seemed very concerned about was Jason Witten. Would they be able to control him? So I think you're going to see the team do some schemes to try and take him out of the game. And if they do that, hey, especially when the Cowboys go to the two tight end set, I believe this is going to give an opportunity for Martellus Bennett to really step up and have a big game. Also, I just have this feeling that Felix Jones is going to step up and have a real big game, break some big runs, and also hopefully get the ball on some screen passes and really take off and make some big plays. So I think the running game, the Cowboys establishing that is going to be key. And can they get the ball to the tight end? The coordinator, Bates, seemed very confident that his corners would be able to neutralize Creighton and Williams. So I think that could be the case. I think Williams probably get some grabs, and Creighton as well. But I think it's going to be key for Witten and Bennett. Can they get open? And also the screens that Felix Jones hopefully will get. So I think that's going to be key for the Cowboys. Now, for Tampa Bay, they're the same thing. They are going to try and run the football, but they're also going to try and throw the football. I think that is the main reason, listening to some conversations on the internet with the coach, Raheem Morris, is that was one of the reasons they fired their offensive coordinator, Jeff J. I'm going to call him because I can't pronounce his last name. They fired him about 10 days ago, which is highly unusual. But they fired him, and the main thing I could detect from Morris and listening to him talk and reading some things on the internet is he was not comfortable with the way he was implementing the passing game, the previous coordinator. So Greg Olson, the quarterback coach, has taken over, and he is a passing guy. So I think you're going to see, you're pretty much, you got an offense implemented. You're pretty much stuck with that. But I think you're also going to see Olson try to get the ball downfield. Hey, they have Antonio Bryant, who caught 83 passes last year and also gained about 1,200 yards. So they also have Michael Clayton, who's a capable receiver. So you're going to see them, I believe, try and get the ball downfield. Now, listening to Wade Phillips talk, he felt very comfortable with his corners being able to cover their receivers, and he also feels very confident this year in the safeties that he has. Of course, Hamlin does a good job in coverage, but also Sensabaugh, who we got from Jacksonville. Phillips seems very comfortable with him in the coverage. So with him feeling comfortable that way, I think you're going to see Dallas try and bring the pressure. Wade Phillips likes to bring the pressure. So in this linebacker we got from Atlanta, Brookings, he seems to be good at the pass rush. So I think that's going to be key. I think this game is going to come down to who can establish the running game and who can get pressure on the quarterback and thereby hopefully rush the passer, the quarterback, into some decisions where he throws some interceptions. So I think turnovers is going to be key in establishing that running game. We will see what happens. I will be back here after the game to give my commentary on the game, and hopefully it will be positive for the Cowboys. Until then, this is Renegade. I'm out.